We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Washington Redskins. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Hey, let's go! Line, 300. Right 90, right 20. Right 20.
On 1st and 10, here's Vick. Wide open receiver complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one goes for 24 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Space 24.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Vick on 2nd down. Eluding the pressure right. Pass incomplete.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They are in a zone. Remember, folks, 4 interceptions for this defense a week ago. First drive, make it number 5.
And the focal point will be the people who pick the ball out of the air. But let's not forget, to make that happen, it has to be an excellent pass rush, terrific coverage where they are plastered to the receivers, and then, of course, taking it away, making the catch, and going in the other direction.
It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be a 2nd down.
We go.
They'll run it here. This is James Lane. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 23 yards on the play. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
4 down.
Gone. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. The confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24.
Right 20. Right 20. Right 20.
On 2nd down, here's Henry. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3rd and short yardage, Vick. He's got a man, it's Williams. Still fighting. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Being chased out left. It's Williams on the catch. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards.
Hey, let's go.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, it was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Will tie his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Josh Lambo now for the point after. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win 1st down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating 1st downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. To throw on 2nd down is gone. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a third down and a yard to start things out.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
They'll look for the first with Tomlinson. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th.
I know it's the first half, but it's still hard to curb the enthusiasm for that stop. 3rd and 1, and the offense can't get there. The defensive team has got to feel very good about themselves. Great job out-leveraging the offense.
12 yards on the return that time, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there that sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 11 more yards that go around. A first down as well.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
From the red zone now, Vick. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Vick readies to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Will Tye with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Bears will extend their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Redskins now. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now it's gone. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Goff in the offense with a 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 14. Goff now to throw. This is White on the screen. And some room to work. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Goff. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd. Goff looking deep downfield. Looks for Parker, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Up. Hey, go black 2 man. White 20.
So here's Vic following the interception. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break.
Let's go. White 20. Double.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Brandon, you know how we talk about having wrinkles in a game plan? That was a fold right there. How about that play? Being able to change things up. You think anyone else on the team's going to get the ball, and in that situation, they surprise everyone and give it to their big guy.
Eagle.
Vic will look to throw on first down. Caught left side, Williams. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
This quarterback now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys at 1st and 10.
White 20.
From the gun, Vic. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. From the shotgun, it's Vic. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. A first down throw coming for Vic. Forced out to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it. As they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
Let's go. White 20.
To throw, Vic. Dancing to his left. And incomplete on the deep ball. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, and they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball. Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Vic now. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. Fourth down now. Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down. But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right? Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there just before halftime. 47 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Here's Goff now on second down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. They begin with Henry. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. This will be the final play of the half. Vic. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not. We'll find out. Now Tomlin set on 1st and 10. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Here's Tomlinson, and he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. And now time will be called here as we've got an injured Redskin down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down. Gone. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. Lambo to add on the extra point. Extra point tacked on by Lambo. And that makes the score 21-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Goff. And he's going to go down again.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Washington. This will be taken at the 10. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Henry. "17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A solid run by Derrick Henry, and here's another 1st and 10. A first down carry for Henry. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
190.
Now a handoff to Henry. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Bears on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Throwing, Vic. He's going to let this one go deep. That's going to be caught. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Here's Vic. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Sua Cravens. Coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now here's Vic. And he slings one that's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
Vic, 3rd and goal. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Off play action. Here's gone. Pressure up the middle, and down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Gone. And he's able to hook up with Michael Gallup. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first. To throw is gone. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Back now at FedEx Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play. And facing a 2nd and long.
Hey, boy, you got 4.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Another carry, same story. 4th quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This will be fielded at the 17. Able to spin free. Still going. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10. Play action now, Vick. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd down, Vick. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Third and long for Vick. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Tomlinson again, a 1st down carry. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Goff now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, let's go.
From the gun, here's Goff. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Washington! A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Here's Goff.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off. And the Bears hands team able to pounce on it and get the football. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Single. Alpha. Orange.
Working out of the gun, Michael Vick. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Zadarius Smith coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
4 down.
On 3rd down, Vick out of the gun. Throw right side, complete to Williams. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for 4th. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead. Confident to throw the pass. The reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader is there. There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish. Because strategy would tell you, run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Now they're going to throw it here with Vick. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Vick readies to throw. Flush to his right. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
And it's caught by Parker. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now Goff on 1st down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Out of the gun, Goff. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was looking for Parker that time, and now it's 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Throwing on 3rd, gone. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now it's gone. Well, they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. How about the big boys snagging one? You don't see that every week.
No, you don't, but a lot of them are just reliving their old dreams, going back to when they were in youth football and in high school. They didn't always play defensive line. Some of them actually handled the football, and you can see the flashback when he grabbed that one.
Oh, bowls right over him. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Chicago, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Redskins, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.